Hello guys and welcome to my advanced decimation guide for VR chat. In this video I'm gonna show you how to decimate more properly and how to fix meshes if you got a hole in it and you just decimated too much. So let's just say you went on DeviantArt and found like a model you like. You load it into Blender and you see this. It has 87,000 tries. At this point you have several options, one of which is just give up. Another one would be just to find another model with less polys, and the third one would be to decimate, and that's what we're gonna do. So if you take a look at this model, I've already loaded it in pressed fixed model and separate by materials. So on this model I've already decimated that to 20k. It took a long time. In general, decimation takes a long time, so just get used to it. Over the time you get better eventually, so just keep that in mind. It takes a lot of time. On this model, for example, we have like these arm thingies, which I don't want to use. So to delete them, you just click the mesh, press delete, and delete. This got rid of some polys. As you can see, we're already down to 80k. I'm not gonna do this properly now because this is only for demonstration purposes. And another thing I wanted to mention is I'm not native English, so there might be a few spelling issues, but I hope you can understand me properly. So let's just say we want to get rid of this, this. But on this ring we saw it already, it also deleted a part of the clothing, which we don't want. So Control Z to redo. To undo, excuse me. Press tab, go on the B box select the parts you don't wanna delete. Then press P and selection. That just separates the polys from the whole mesh, and it makes it so it has like its own thingy under the armature. So we can now delete those things. And now we got rid of a few polys, but now we're starting to get to the point where we can't delete stuff anymore, so we have to decimate a few things. In general, hair is always a good place to start, because hair has almost always a lot of polys. For example, this little strand of hair has 5.9k, that's like 1/4 of the polys you can use for VR chat, so we want to get rid of some polys. To do that, first select the mesh, then press tab to go into edit mode. You can also see on the top bottom left, sorry, a little thing where it shows the buttons I press. If you don't understand what I mean, just look there and you'll get it. So select the mesh, press tab to go into edit mode, press A to select all the polys, and go under tools and remove doubles. As you can see, it removed 491 vertices. That just makes it so the mesh won't fuck up that much if you decimate to a point where it has only a few polys left. So always do that, because if you don't do that, the mesh splits at certain points and you get stuff like that, where there's just a hole. And I'm gonna show you how to fix that as well later on in this video. So now that we get that done, we have to delete the shape key for the hairs, because we can't decimate with the shape keys enabled. And that's also the reason why you never want to decimate the face, because the face has a lot of facial animations on it, and if you decimate the face, you just get rid of all those facial animations and your character looks boring. So you don't want to do that. So to delete the shape key, you just open the armature, go under the object you want to delete, go under this one, and there's the shape key, right click it and press delete. So now that the shape key is gone, we can add a modifier on this. So go under this little menu here on the wrench, press add modifier, and then decimate. We're gonna use collapse. for this one because it just does the most things. You can use planar, but I'm not gonna go into that because I don't like to use it. So we're just gonna use collapse. You can't decimate in edit mode, so just put your cursor into this window where the model is. Press tab to go out of edit mode again. And now we can play with the value. The thing you don't want to do is just like drag it. I mean, you can drag it for the start to just make a rough point where you want to be at. For example, like 0.2. But then you want to go click it and hit 0.2. So that should always be a 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 integer. Don't make it like 0.146778 because then it like also doesn't look too good on the final decimate. So now that we get like 0.2, you could remember the hair had like 5k, 5.8k. Now that we're at 0.2, it only has 1.1k, so that's already a huge improvement. So now we're gonna hit apply and just look at the hair, and it looks fine. If you want to see if there's a hole in it and you can't really see it with textures enabled, you can go under this little ball here and go under solid, and that just removes all the textures and you can see better if there's holes in the mesh. So yeah, now that that's done, I'm gonna show you how to fix holes and how to stitch up a character if you like deleted a part, for example. To stitch holes, we're gonna go back to texture mode, just I prefer that. Sometimes if you got like dark objects, you wanna go into the solid mode to see better. So let's just say you decimated this sphere and a hole just appeared. So press tab to go into edit mode. And you can see like we got a point over here and a point over here. So we're gonna select these 2 points because if we merge them, like this line will match up with this line again, and there's not gonna be a hole. So we're gonna select both, press Alt M, and we have a few options. We have the option to merge the mesh or to merge the 2 points at the first point selected, at the last point selected, at the center, that just merges it in the center, and at cursor. The cursor is like your 3D cursor you can place with left click, and that just merges it there. But I always use at center or at first or at last, like those 3 options. So we want to merge this point to this, so we're gonna select this, and now we selected this as the last point. Press Alt M and at last. And that just fixed the hole in the mesh, as you can see. Now for like stitching, let's say you deleted this part and you wanna merge these 2 meshes together. To do that, without like merging everything together, you can select both meshes you wanna join and press Ctrl J. That just makes it so that's one mesh now. Now we can go in and like for this I would go into solid mode again to make it just to make it so you can see better. So we're gonna merge these 2 at center, and as you can see it fucked up because we didn't remove doubles. You always should remove doubles. Yeah, remove doubles. You can see it removed 1.2k vertices, and now it should work fine. So we're gonna do at center again, and now it works. If you got like a Logitech mouse or like a Razer mouse where you can set up macros, I would highly recommend doing that. Because it gets tiring just to like press Alt M all the time and hit merge. So you can just set a macro to do the Alt M and enter, and then you can just press one button as you can see, and it works like a charm. You can quickly merge meshes. Now I'm gonna show you how to add like vertices. If you, for example, like on this one we got like always a pair, but if you don't have that, you want to add a pair. So to make that, we go in K, then we got this knife tool, and we click and drag it over the vertices, and every time it hits like a line, it creates a new point. So we click there and press enter, and as you can see, it like created another set of vertices we can connect stuff to. So that just makes merging easier. So now I'm gonna show you how to manually delete points in the mesh. So we're going back to texture mode, and let's say for example you have these socks here, but you don't want to decimate them because they move here. You never want to decimate moving parts. That's also a very important thing. Like, don't ever decimate hands. Like, you can do it if you know what you're doing, but I wouldn't recommend it for beginners to decimate hands. Never decimate like the arms if you can avoid it, like because they're moving here, and if you decimate that, there can be stuff glitching out. So I would avoid that, and also the legs. If you don't have VR, the arms don't matter, but I would always like try to avoid that. So let's just say we don't want to decimate this part, but up here we got a lot of polys. And so now I'm in the mode where I can see the back faces as well. And to get rid of that, we can press this button. That just shows the faces we have before us, and it doesn't show the back of it. That just makes it more clean. Before you do that, what I'm about to show you, always remove doubles. Like, remove doubles is honestly your best friend in this kind of stuff. So let's just say we want to get rid of those 3 points. To get rid of them, just select them and press Ctrl X, and now they're gone. But you can see the mesh is fucked up, and that's why that's because there's no more vertices like holding this together. To get them back, you press A and hit Ctrl T, and that just makes it so it connects the lines in like a triangular pattern, and that gives back the geometry we just deleted. So now you can see the leg looks fine again. And do I want to talk about something else? No, that's basically it. If you got any more questions, feel free to write a comment and I'll try to answer them. Yeah, if you want to see more tutorials on this, feel free to recommend some, or like make a request. I'm not the best at Blender yet, but I'm still learning as well. So I thought I'm just gonna make this tutorial to help other people. If you enjoyed the video, no, I'm not gonna do the liking thing. Yeah. See you, I guess. I don't know.